long train trips required by his office. Oh, this is one of my favorites. With Napoleon's invasion of Egypt in 1783, Europeans began a fascination with the pyramids, the Sphinx, and the site of some of the oldest archaeological excavations in the world. Britons in particular were enthralled with all things Egyptian, decorating their homes with artifacts looted from ancient tombs. Crocodile on the Sandbike is the first in a series of over 20 books set in Victorian and Edwardian Egypt. The heroine, Amelia Peabody, travels to Egypt in search of adventure following the death of her scholarly father. There she meets Radcliffe Emerson, the greatest archaeologist of this or any other time. Their subsequent escapades are full of cursed artifacts, wayward mummies, and a delightful wealth of historical and hysterical description. Amelia is wearing a Victorian camp dress suitable for trekking through the desert. Made of serviceable loden green, it is minimally adorned. It's designed for an active lifestyle. The hem is shorter than usual so as to avoid dragging through the sand. The dress does not require the elaborate and confining underpinnings as do the other fashions of the day. Amelia has added a utility belt to transport her useful paraphernalia, such as a water flask and a belt knife. In later years, she added so much paraphernalia, her husband complained that he could hear her coming a mile away. She goes nowhere without her glare goggles and parasol, which was specially constructed with an extra strong shaft so that it can be used as a weapon as well as a sunshade. Amelia has brought her latest artifact to share with us. Rumor has it that it represents the legendary and prolific author, the pharaoh Amnon. Thank you. Elizabeth Peters is only one of several pseudonyms for Barbara Mertz. She earned a PhD in Egyptology at the age of 23. Her novels are usually categorized as mystery or suspense. Although they are rife with decidedly Gothic and supernatural elements, her books also contain a wealth of actual historical description and events. Is there anyone here that doesn't know the tragedy of Gaston Leroux's Phantom of the Opera? It was written in 1911, but was set in Victorian Paris. Phantom has given us many memorable characters. My favorite is the prima donna, La Carlotta. Depicted as being either Spanish or Italian, she is the quintessential operatic diva. Everything she does, says, and wears is over the top. In various versions of the story, she meets a number of different ends, ranging from developing a very un-diva-like croak in her voice to being murdered by the Phantom. Madame Carlotta is wearing a plaid taffeta hoop-skirted gown. Her bodice features pagoda sleeves with plain undersleeves. Her fur muff and shawl are suitably dramatic. You may note that Madame Carlotta's hairpiece doesn't exactly match her hair. That was actually quite common in Victorian times. Women would quite often have hairpieces made from their hair that they continued to wear all the way through, despite the fact that what was underneath did change color. Thank you, Maggie. Gaston Leroux inherited millions of francs and squandered them all with a year of wild living. He had been trained as a lawyer but took a position as a court reporter and theater critic. He got the idea for Phantom while covering the investigations of a crime which involved extensive visits to the Paris Opera House. He is most widely known